Hey everybody, Cyclone Jack here. I had somebody who was interested in seeing how my rocking chair prop works. Wanted to see the mechanics of it, see how it was put together. So I decided to go ahead and make a quick video. Basically, it is just a standard rocking chair prop. The only difference is it's in a wheelchair, not a rocking chair, and it doesn't rock. It is put together like a rocking chair prop. It's the same mechanics as a rocking chair prop. You have a wiper motor back here. You can see that. With a crank arm that runs through the chair. It's connected to a piece of 2x4 that's connected to a door hinge. And that goes to a 2x4 that goes across the frame. This 2x4 here is attached to the frame. Tubular steel frame of the wheelchair itself, just screwed in there. Ran a couple of pilot holes through the 2x4 and into the tubular steel down in here in the chair, and just ran a screw through there. And that's just the basic framework for holding the mechanism, this rocking mechanism right here. And you can see right here, just a hinge and a piece of 2x4. 2x4, I measured it out, was 6.5 inches long. And one thing I did differently, because this is not a rocking chair prop, this is just a rocking prop essentially, is I wanted to add an extra movement to it. This prop here is actually like an Insane Asylum type person. He's let me show you here the mask for it, like an asylum patient mask, and he wears a straight jacket. So wanted to give it the illusion that he was struggling and trying to get out of the straight jacket. So I added this extra movement of having it twist as it comes back and forth. And how I achieved that is this right here. Let me go ahead and turn this off real quick. Sped it up. This bar here, this piece of 2x4, this piece of 1/2 inch PVC, this is 1/2 inch PVC right here, connected to the 2x4 that pivots back and forth. This is rigid, this doesn't move. Actually, just have a couple of brackets here that hold it to the 2x4, and ran some screws through it too so it doesn't spin. And I measured it out. This is 1/2 inch PVC, and it's 18 inches long, so it actually goes from here all the way up into this pipe. Now this here is 3/4 inch thin-walled PVC. This PVC here. So the 1/2 inch actually runs up into 3/4 inch, and I measured it out. That piece there, the spine piece I would call it, is 10 inches, it's 3/4 inch. Now this part here, because it's just sitting in here, the 1/2 inch PVC is going up into 3/4 inch PVC. It just sits loosely and actually spins. You can see that there. And what I did to achieve this twisting motion right here was to put a little T right here at the bottom. You can see that. And a small piece of 3/4 inch PVC that comes out the side here. So as this thing, as the mechanism is rocking back and forth, this part right here actually, I'm going to turn it back on. You can see here, that part right there catches the bar. This bar right here, just drilled a hole into the 2x4, ran a metal pole. I don't remember this, I think it came from a shower curtain rod or something like that, but it's pretty rigid. It's not going to give, has no give to it at all. But that bar catches that piece of PVC, but as it's coming forward, it actually causes it to spin. You can see the mechanism, how it's going forward. The PVC is going forward, and that's causing it to spin. So you give a little bit of a twist to it as well. Real simple, like I said, it's just a basic rocking mechanism. Your crank arm, that calls off your wiper motor. But that little piece right there catches that bar, will cause the upper piece of PVC to actually spin. One thing that is important though that I found out early on is that you put a spring on it to allow this to return as it's coming back, because otherwise it would go down and it would stay down and it wouldn't twist backwards. So this is causing it to twist to the right. This bar here is causing it to twist to the right. The spring is what's bringing it back to the left as it's returning. This is the mechanics of it. You know, it's just a crank arm off a wiper motor. This is a fence bracket right there. I have this 2x4 that is the same principle as the one on the front that holds the body. Just a 2x4. Ran a couple of into the tubular steel of the wheelchair, and this holds the wiper motor. This fence bracket right here. And actually, on this prop here, I put a PWM, which is a pulse width modulator. You can get these on eBay for a little less than $10, and they're fantastic for controlling the speed of the motor. You can get it going. You can really get it cranking, or I can turn it down. So let me turn it down, and I can turn it down to just a crawl. There's barely moving, just like that there. Matter of fact, I can get it to a certain position. I can just have it stop by turning it all the way to the left, and then it'll stop the prop altogether as well. So if you have any wiper motor props and you really want to dial in the speed of those props, and you need to go faster or you need it to go slower, and you don't want to sacrifice any torque, look into investing into one of these PWMs, pulse width modulators. I got this one on eBay. It was domestic, so I got it within a week, and I got it for like $10 or something like that. And it's really easy to wire in, just 2 wires that go into it. Your power supply goes in, and then 2 wires that go to your terminals on your wiper motor. You just got to make sure you get it 12 volt. But anyway, so yeah, looking to get one of those. That's the mechanism right there, or that's the mechanics of it. And you can just see that the crank arm that is running from the back just runs through the fabric of the chair, connects to the piece of 2x4 with the hinge on it, and just causes it to go back and forth. But yeah, it's that there. I hope you can see that, and I hope it makes sense of that. But it's that there that causes that little spin. I'll just show you. I'll go ahead and crank this sucker up full speed. And it gets pretty violent, but it runs very smoothly. It's very, very smooth. I mean, that guy gets booking, and his head slaps around, and his arms are slapping around, and he looks like he's really thrashing back and forth trying to get out of that straight jacket. So it's pretty effective little effect. So, but yeah, I hope that makes sense. And if you have any questions about it, you know, holler at me. Contact me through Facebook or through YouTube or whatever. Alright, thanks guys. One thing I do want to point out that I failed to mention earlier is that it's important that the length of this PVC coming off this T right here, this cross, I'm sorry, not a T, is actually just long enough, because it slides down this pole right here. And it's just long enough that it does not come off that pole. If it were to go any further forward, it would actually right there slip off that pole right there. So it's pretty important to pay attention to that. As a matter of fact, when I built this, I just left this really long, exceptionally long, and then I just watched the movement, and as it got to the crest of the movement all the way to the forward, like right there, I made a mark of where I could cut the PVC. So it's important. Number one, you don't want to leave it too long, because that's going to go into the body cavity of the prop itself. So if it was too long, it's just going to impede being able to do a good body form. Number two, if it's too short, it will just pop off there. And that is kind of important. I failed to mention that earlier. So, all right.